Welcome back to the Class of 90.
Okay.
Oh, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute indeed, but we're back, man. Come on, man. Like, we never left.
A lot has happened. I guess we'll start off at the bridge.
Yeah, there's been a lot that's happened. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think maybe we start off at the bridge, innit? See what you guys have been saying, man. It's been eventful.
It's been an eventful couple of weeks since I was last in front of this camera. I don't know. Things aren't going.
Hiding.
Yeah, I've been hiding low key because things aren't going too well at the bridge right now. I think Rafinha's he's losing a bit of control, but I don't think it's his fault, innit? I think the way things are set up at Chelsea, the players are bound to not be happy. We obviously had the PSG game, which for me we were always going to lose, and it was more about the performance. And I think in the first leg, I saw a good performance. I was a bit, I had a bit of hope going into that game, innit?
I was hate watching.
It was one of them ones where I think we could have pulled something out there, and we almost did. On another day, I think with our best players on the pitch, we're missing Esteval. I think if he's on the pitch, I think it's a different game, and I think we've got the quality to kind of get at them. But their substitutes showed the difference. They brought on Kvaratskhelia, killed the game, and then the second leg was just the game was done. And I think both two of those games kind of just took a bit out of the team. So then we had the Everton defeat and all of this stuff during the international break. I think it's tough, innit? It's like, I don't blame Rafinha for the situation we're in right now. I don't blame him. I don't think it's just people are getting onto him for the suspension for Enzo, but I think Enzo had to be suspended because you can't come out and flirt with another club twice in the space of a month or so, innit? I think if he hadn't spoken the way he spoke after the PSG game, he wouldn't have got suspended for what he said in that stream. But because he did that, he left him no choice, innit? He knows what he's doing. Like, agents, PR is a big thing in football these days. Everything's calculated, innit? So I don't think that means Enzo's leaving in the summer. I don't think it means Cucurella wants to leave. I just think it means that they want more. And Fabrizio's saying we could have a little something. So I think, look, Rafinha's first strike for me was the Everton game. That game was something that I'll blame him for. I think it was a bit... The players weren't up to it, but also I feel like we needed to show more, and he's in charge at the end of the day. So he's got a red flag for that one, but I still have a bit of trust in him. I still got a bit of hope in what he can bring to the club.
Listen, I don't know. Looking at it from a neutral perspective, the way I see it is when he came in, I feel like you guys had quite a few easy games in it, so you can't really judge him on those games where you went, I think it was like 4 wins, like back to back. Do you know what I mean? You had the Charltons, do you know what I mean? And then you started seeing his true colours. Like even the win against Villa, I was impressed at that. But I think now I look back at it, everyone's just going to Villa and just collecting points. Do you know what I mean? So when I look back at it now, I'm like, actually, were those really good wins, or was it just more of a thing where it was just papering over the cracks? Because now you started, like, when you started having tough games, like, when I look at the Arsenal game, for example, do you know what I mean? I didn't really see any real tactical masterclass from,
but it's Arsenal.
It's Arsenal. But at the end of the day, we beat Arsenal.
Yeah,
Arsenal, do you know what I mean? So you get it. So it's the same position. So man, them can't say to me, it's just Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? So, like, that's the one thing I will say, innit? Like, when it comes to these big games, like, even the PSG game, I was hate watching that day in the first leg, innit? I think there was a spell where you guys played, where Chelsea played really good for, like, I think it was for a good, like, maybe say 30 minutes, 40 minutes, for example. And then when you could see PSG's manager, Luis Enrique, sort of tweaked it. Do you know what I mean? Whether it's the subs that came on, like the Kvaratskhelia, for example.
Look at it, bro. They can bring on Kvaratskhelia. Who we got? Garnacho in them, man.
I hear it.
We don't have the quality off the bench.
I hear it. But even Kvaratskhelia coming off the bench that game, he wasn't at his full fitness. Do you know what I mean? There was a reason he started on the bench. Do you know what I mean? So, and I feel like the way Chelsea sort of gave up the game, and the way they capitulated, I'm just like, as a, if you were a top manager, I don't think top managers, that happens to a lot of top managers' teams. For it to go from, I think it was like, was it 2-2 at some point, to then being, what was it on aggregate? To what it was. I'm just like, like, that wouldn't happen to like a top manager. And I'm not saying he's a top manager now, but I'm just saying, for the time being, I don't think he's as good as a manager that, as Chelsea actually think he is, innit?
I think that was a bit of naivety and inexperience from the players and him, innit, in terms of the players on the pitch. You kind of should have known, like, okay, let's take this thing out of the game, 2-2, this is a good result. Let's just kind of hold this position. Even 3-2, good result. But I think the inexperience, once they scored one and then another one to make it 4-2, it's like heads dropped. 5-2 now, it's an impossible game. And then going to the bridge, they scored straight away again. And it was like, if you look at PSG, their goals were very good goals. Like, they were taking their chances. I just think it was more of a difference in quality on the pitch rather than, I don't think another manager gets us a better result against PSG.
Okay. So whilst we're on, so we've looked at Chelsea now. Whilst we're on your manager, what happens towards the end of the season? You know, say if he finishes, you know, maybe say top 5. Let's assume that top 5 gets, you know, maybe say Champions League, for example, and then at the same time, outside chance, but who knows? Say if you win the FA Cup, keep him.
Oh yeah, that's a good season. That's Rafinha. You've come in and done very well for me. Like, I think even if he doesn't get Champions League football for us, I think you got to stick with him just because.
Really? Yeah. So if he doesn't win the FA Cup or get Champions League, you're saying stick with him for next season?
Stick with him because I think it was dumb to sack Maresca mid-season and bring him in mid-season just because he's inexperienced and he's going to need time with his players. He hasn't had that time. We've been playing midweek, weekend since he's come in. He's had a ridiculous amount of games. So to implement his ideas and his way of football is tough. And in the games that we've lost, Newcastle and I think Everton, the goals that we're conceding is from the players switch off or they don't understand his pressing system. They don't understand the tactics on the pitch and you can see it. So I just feel like if we had more time, he'll do something. Because right now you sack him and then we start all over again. And then
I think, listen, some people may not rate Chelsea in it, but I grew up with seeing Chelsea like a strong team in it. I mean, proper top 4 team, proper Barclays team. I just don't feel like he's the guy, bro. Like whether it's like aura. Zero aura. Do you know what I mean? You had some of his ex-teammates coming out saying all this wishy-washy he's doing for the cameras. Do you know what I mean? He's just capping. He's just doing it all for the cameras. He's got no aura. You saw that touch. You saw that touch.
No, come on, man.
Listen, he's got no aura. I just haven't seen anything to show me that he's actually a top manager. That's what I'm saying. I think for a big team like Chelsea, you look across the board, say next season now, say United stick with Carrick, who knows? Or we get like a better manager. Say Arteta obviously Arsenal. Say Guardiola, and then you're looking at Chelsea with Rafinha. I just don't see how Chelsea fans can look at my man and say this is who I want my managers to be. That's
the thing, though. I'm not. If I had to pick from scratch, like okay, we're getting rid of Maresca at the end of the season. I'm not picking Rafinha. Don't get it twisted. But we've got him now, innit? Like, he's the guy that's in charge. He's the guy that's been trusted.
It's not too late, man.
We just got to trust it now. Because, this board, I feel like they're kind of fluking their way. I think the whole project is a little bit shaky. And I think we just signed some more experienced players to help an inexperienced squad and an inexperienced manager. And I think we'll be all right. We could challenge for the title again next season. You never know, man. The Chelsea way.
Alright, let's move on to where the grass is greener, innit? Do you know what I mean? To the great United.
The grass seems to be greener.
The great United, you get me? So, I guess, where do we start? So, Harry came in, started sowing seeds and all of a sudden everything's just blossoming, right? But at the end of the day, I think, looking at where we currently are, right? We started off playing like really good football when Harry came in. And then I think our forms kind of dipped. We were still getting results in terms of, beating the likes of Tottenham, Crystal Palace, but you could still see that our performance wasn't really,
still a bit shaky.
Yeah, it was still a little bit shaky. And then we had that reality check from Newcastle. And then, to be honest, we probably should have won that game. Like, there were 10 man down, and then obviously they scored the last minute goal. But I think overall, from what I've seen from Carrick, it's like, I would be happy to keep Carrick, that's the thing. But I think it's all well and good saying all of this now, when it's all sunshine, but what happens when the rain comes? What happens when it comes to like making the big decisions? Who do we sign? Do we give this player contracts and stuff like that? I just don't know whether he's that guy that can be able to manage a really big club like Manchester United. Because Manchester United isn't just a football club, it's a whole franchise in itself. That's the thing. Like, you have players that come into the club and they say to you, the shirt's so heavy. And it's true. Do you know what I mean? So fair enough, he's played for the club. But I think that's my only worry, innit? He doesn't have that experience of managing at like a top level, because the only other team he's managed is Middlesbrough, and he was sacked from there, innit? So far from what I've seen, I would say give him the job, but at the same time as well, like, that's purely because looking at all the other managers out there, I can't really see any other top managers out there. Like, if I look at Luis Enriquez, that's the only person that I would take. Yeah. But why would you leave PSG, do you know what I mean, where you're pretty much winning everything, to then come to United, unless he wants a new challenge in terms of managing at the Premier League, managing one of the biggest football teams in the world. But I think other than Luis Enrique, I don't know who else that would sort of compete with Carrick? Because if you hire like a Nagelsmann, for example, he comes in next season, yeah, and then, you know, we start having a bad season halfway through, the fans aren't going to have any patience. They're going to say, listen, you had Carrick, who was doing well, got us Champions League, and then you got rid of him for this youthful manager who's meant to be the next big thing, and all of a sudden, you then have like the whole spiral where they're getting rid of managers. So I think it's damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if you get rid of Carrick and the next manager doesn't do well, then it's a bit long.
With Carrick, and I've been saying this a lot over the last couple of weeks, is it a case of one game per week that is, you know what I mean, helping him get the results that he's getting? Because you're playing with a nice rested squad, a settled squad, you know who's playing week in, week out. I think that's playing a big
I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Napoli won the league last season. They won the Serie A last season, you know, with no Champions League. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it was one of those where they were pretty much playing one and a half-ish games like every other week. Do you know what I mean? Because they were still in like other cup games and stuff like that. But I don't really mind all that distraction, because if I'm being honest, the squad we have now, even if we look at our midfield right now, it's so thin in the sense that if Casemiro gets injured, we pretty much have Ugarte. If Ugarte needed to get subbed in like the 70th minute or something, we're pretty much bringing on the academy.
The squad that you have right now
so thin. It's so thin. The squad
wouldn't cope with midweek fixtures.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
It's fair enough.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why it makes sense for us. So I think to judge him, you know, rival fans will say, yeah, you guys only have 40 games. You know, you've only had 40 games this season. I don't mind that. I don't mind that. This is the first time in our history it's ever happened. So I don't really mind that. Sometimes you got to go backwards. Do you know what I mean? To catapult forward. So I don't really mind that, innit? But I think the main thing for us is just to get into that top four, and then we can make some really big signings this summer, and then, you know, we can try and challenge next year. Because honestly, seeing the way Arsenal are going to, I think, quote unquote, I probably think they're gonna win, but we can get into that a bit later. But seeing the way that, you know, they've sort of challenged this season, I'm just like, why can't we go and do that? Why can't we go and, you know, win the Prem? Do you know what I mean? We beat Arsenal.
Next season, as in?
Yeah, we beat Arsenal. We flipping beat City. If you look at the top 8 team, or like the top 7 team, I saw a stat the other day, we beat every single one of them. We beat other than Brentford, we haven't played Brentford yet for the second time because they beat us, but other than them, every other team in that 1 to 8, we've beat them. Do you know what I mean?
But
so
I
it's
think
like
one of them ones where those are the games that United play better in, because they get to sit back a little bit, play on the counter attack.
Hundo. But then that's something we can refine for next season. Do you know what I mean? So I don't really mind that, innit? I'll take the whole chat about, you know, you guys aren't in this competition, that competition. I don't mind that, because if we were in those competitions, we'd probably be out anyway because of the squad we have. It's thin, bro. It's anorexic. Do you know what I mean? So it don't make sense for us to be in some of those competitions. But I think looking forward to United now, getting the top 4, and then next season, do you know what I mean, we can go again with Michael Carrick. I'm agnostic, innit? Do you know what I mean? I don't really mind whether he gets a job or not. I don't really mind. Ideally, I just want a manager next season from day one. Do you know what I mean? That's going to be on it. I want a manager who's going to make sure Man United win the league, bro. I don't want no manager that's going to do no Amarim thing and he's only going to be here for like a year and a bit, gone. Do you know what I mean? Ten Hag, like 2 years and a bit, gone. Like, I'm tired, bro. It's long, man. It's long.
So what would you say are United's like percentage of getting top 4 right now? How confident are you?
90%, and that's purely because of the fact that we're only playing one game a week. And the great thing for us is that we still need to play other teams that are challenging for top 4. Villa, we've taken 3 points off them. That's calm. We still need to play you guys at Stamford Bridge. That's fine, because even if we get a draw, we cripple you guys as well. Do you know what I mean? We still need to play Liverpool, and Liverpool's one is even worse because they come into Old Trafford. So if we get 3 points or we even draw with them, again, we cripple them. So it's like, with those games, it's not like we have all these different teams that we need to play that aren't even challenging top 4. We're playing the main people, do you know what I mean, that are in competition with us. So if we can beat like a Chelsea or like a Liverpool, and the thing is, I even look at the points tally at the moment. I think with you guys, we're 7 points clear of you guys. Liverpool, I think it's like 5. So there is a bit of a gap. We just need to go out there and literally beat one of those teams. And it's confirmed, man. The Champions League thing, we're coming back. Do you know what I mean? The great team's coming back.
The thing is, I think if it was like based on our form, I would say Chelsea most likely wouldn't get it. But when I look around at the teams we're competing with, the United, the Villas and Liverpool, I don't see enough from them to make me think that they're not going to drop points.
What do you mean you don't see enough, bro? We haven't lost.
Drop points.
We've lost,
United.
bro.
There's
We've
gonna
lost
be more
one.
drop
We've
points.
lost one game in. I think we've lost 1 in 8.
Yeah, but there's what,
One
like
in
9
8,
games
bro.
left now between now and the end of the season.
It's not 9. It's less than that. It's like 7 or 8. Yeah.
Can you confidently say you won't drop points between now and then?
We will, but I know you definitely will. And I know Liverpool will as well, because they just got smacked by City. Do you know what I mean? You guys still have to play City. Yeah. You still have to play us. Do you still have to play Liverpool? Or if you play, I think you still have to play Liverpool. Exactly. Those are some tough games.
No,
And Tottenham as well. If Tottenham have a new manager bounce, oof. So it's like I look at our run versus Liverpool's run, or like your run, for example, and I know that we're good because Liverpool still need to play Man City as well. Yeah. So sitting here as a United fan, I'm almost like, listen, like I know we're gonna do our job, but if we don't, I know that these other teams like Liverpool and Chelsea are still going to drop points, and that's why I literally feel like I'm on cloud 9. Just, do you know what I mean? Just looking down, because even if City don't do the job, when we face you, man, we'll just buck you as well. Do you know what I mean?
We're obviously talking about like we didn't beat him at the bridge last season. Like I'm not going to talk too much because I've done a lot of talking this season.
You can't, and it's backfired. So,
but I'm a little bit nervous, but I still got a bit of hope in. We've got superstars in our
So you think you guys will finish top 4?
Top 5.
Top 5. You were saying at the start of the season they were going to win the league. Now look at reality.
Well, speaking of winning the league, you know what I mean? Let's talk about what could bring us some top joy. The hate watching that is potentially there on Arsenal, because I think these last 2 games, they obviously lost the League Cup final to City. Then they got knocked out of the FA Cup quarterfinals.
Yeah.
Is there a bit of a wobble coming on for Arsenal?
It's a difficult one, because at the start of the season, I said Arsenal would win the league, and I still stand by the fact that they will win the league. But if they didn't, boy, London's going to be hot.
It will be the best thing ever. And the thing, I've accepted that. I accepted a long time ago that Arsenal win the league.
Yeah.
Like, if they win it, obviously it's going to hurt, but I'm prepared for it, innit? Like, I'm going to go off of socials. You know? You can't keep your eye on too much and just keep quiet.
I just can't see them not winning it, purely because I think, one, they've got that dark arts. And say they go up against Bournemouth, do you know what I mean, next week now, and they lose against Bournemouth. What Arteta will do is, I think he will play the scummiest football, by the way. Yeah. Like, he will literally play the scum. Like, see the way he played against Brighton, where they were wasting time, and I think the ball was out of play for like a good 20 minutes, and at some point the Brighton manager was just fucking play, fucking, do you know what I mean? Like, I think from now to the end of the season, that's exactly what he's going to do, unless it's looking like Arsenal like 6-7 points. Unless City drop further points, I don't see them playing free-flowing football. I think they're going to use their dark hearts, do you know what I mean? And they're going to find a way to win. And to be fair, they have been doing that this season.
Yeah, and I think they've got like, they could play City, sit back and not hope for a 0-0.
Yeah, they could go there for a draw. They could literally just go there and just draw. Do you know what I mean? Like, that wouldn't be a bad result for them. But I just think, you know, being where they are at the moment, you know, the amount of points, you know, they have above City, I think it's like, at the moment, it's like maybe say 6 or it's like 9 with like a game in hand or whatnot.
It's a lot. So if they drop it,
it's a lot. It's a lot. But it has happened, because I remember with Man United, the season that City won their first Premier League title, I think we would have been like, I think it was like 8 points clear of them, and then with like 4 games to go, and somehow we still managed to lose it. So listen, while, you know, crazier things have happened before, so I don't want to sit here and say, the league's done and dusted. Like, you know, would I rather Arsenal or City win it? It's like saying to me, you know, would you rather this guy or that guy shag your missus? Like, honestly, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't want either to win it, but, you know, that's the position we're in at the moment.